Hi everyone, so this video is going to be another one in the Christmas party prep series, and it's kind of like just little tips and helpful advice and things like that about snacking and eating out during this kind of season, because it's the kind of time where you're invited to a lot of parties, whether it's office parties, family parties. You tend to kind of indulge more, drink more. There's always chocolates around the house and things like that. So these are just a few little tips that I think really work. The first one is you've got to think about what type of event you're going to. So if you're going to a sit-down office meal with your work or whatever it is, but it's a sit-down meal, so it's proper, a few courses maybe, and you're sat down eating a proper meal, so you can't really choose and kind of not have anything because you're sat there eating. Then the best thing to do is, if you know it's going to happen, try and have a really sensible breakfast, maybe something light like soup for lunch, and then just have the meal. But try and have, a kind of, stay away from the bread because it can make you a bit bloated. Try and go for the soup maybe as a starter. And I'm not going to say don't have dessert, because I think it is the kind of time of year where you just want to have dessert and you should have dessert. So sod it and go ahead and have dessert, but the next day just be a little bit extra careful. And if it is like, for example, a lot of office parties have a buffet, if it's a buffet, then that is really easy because you can really avoid all the foods that you don't want to be eating. So for example, things like sausage rolls, different types of meat, different types of cheeses, different types of like little pastries and things that are all quite high in fat and quite high in calories. And they don't make you full, so you're eating and you're not getting full, and you just keep consuming empty calories. And the best little tip I've got for that, I think, is to just really make sure you've eaten a sensible meal before you've left the house. So have something like, brown rice and veg, and maybe a bit of lean meat if you eat meat, and just make sure you're satisfied. And then when you get there, if you get a bit peckish, you can just have a few, like, sometimes they have little vegetables and hummus, or little, vegetables and dip and things like that. But really try and stay clear of those kind of little nibbles, because they're the things that don't make you full and just add loads and loads of calories. The next thing is drinking. Especially here in England, it's kind of a nation obsessed with booze, and people tend to really drink a lot over this time of year. Now, I personally don't drink very often at all for health reasons, but try and make sure you have at least a few days a week. So if you've got, let's say, 3 events for 1 week, try and make sure that you have a drink maybe in 2 of them, and 1 of them don't have a drink, and set in your mind how many drinks you're going to have. So if you've got there and you've decided you're going to have 2 glasses of wine and call it a day, or 2 vodka and Diet Cokes and call it a day, then really stick to that, and make sure you sip slowly. Things that are fizzy tend to last you longer, so if you are having a glass of wine, have some soda water in it or something like that, something to kind of give it a little bit of a sparkle, because it makes you sip slower. And just make sure you sip really slowly, and you make sure that you're consuming a lot of water as well, so you don't get hungover. But also that kind of keeps you hydrated, so you're less likely to reach for the drink. And it's not good for your skin, it's not good for your health, everybody knows that, but in this kind of time of year where you want to look all glamorous and fresh and lovely, then being hungover is probably not the best idea, because you're not going to look your best, you'll look a bit haggard. But make sure you drink a lot of water, like I said, and make sure that you kind of really space them out and really are in control of what you're drinking. So don't kind of be like, oh, I'll just have a few glasses, and then you've ended up having 5 glasses of wine, because your average glass of wine is 100 calories. You've had 5 glasses of wine, you've consumed 500 calories in alcohol alone, and it is an empty calorie. It's just sugar. It goes into your body very quickly and turns into fat. There's hardly any nutritional value in it, and your body can't really do anything with it, so it's not really worth it. Chocolate is a lot better for you, and it's fattening, but at least your body can kind of do something with it. With alcohol, your body can do absolutely nothing. The next thing is, I think, really important to make sure you eat proper breakfasts. Breakfasts are always, the most important meal of the day, blah, blah, blah. Everyone knows that. But when you're kind of indulging, you do need that sense of stability where you have your regular breakfast, whether it's something like, scrambled egg on whole grain toast, or some sort of healthy fibrous cereal like all bran or Weetabix or something like that with some fruit. Just make sure you have got something that's really stable in your diet, because it can be quite an erratic time. And another thing is tins of chocolate. You get them around the house. They're always on sale for ridiculous prices. Like I saw on TV before that they're selling Quality Street in Tesco's for £3.90. Is it £3.90, £3.99, something like that. But that is so cheap, and you get sucked in by the deals, and you just end up buying them. And then what happens is you end up eating them, and they're really high in calories. So the best thing to do, I think, is just try to not buy them. If you have bought them, put them somewhere where you can't see them. Don't lay them out on your kitchen table, because then every time you walk past, you'll grab a sweet, and within a couple of hours they'll all be gone. Put them high up in the cupboard, hide them away, don't look at them. Put them somewhere where you're not likely to find them or to go and get them, and only get them out when you've got people around, and just really try and limit how much they're around, because it can be really hard to kind of keep helping yourself to a little bit more. Another thing is in supermarkets. This time of year, supermarkets are all over the sales. Everything's on sale, but if you notice, it's not the healthy things that are on sale. It's always the really high calorie, high fat junk food that's always on sale, because that's easier to make. Manufacturers want you to make it. Manufacturers pay the supermarkets extra cash to put it in the middle of the aisle, so you're going to see it, you're going to be tempted to grab one, you're going to be tempted for the buy one get one free and all that kind of thing, and it's just really crap. So the best thing I think you can do in that type of thing is just really try and avoid them. Try and shop in kind of the healthier section of the supermarket, which is normally where the fruit and veg are, then carrying on to some of the frozen bits, and don't go down the crisp and chocolate aisle. I know it is hard because you've got people around and things like that, and you do need to have nibbles at home, but try and get them as close as you can to Christmas. I mean, it's the 1st of December today, and this video might not go up today, it might go up tomorrow, but it's the 1st of December today, and there is no reason for you to be having Christmas treats in right now, because it's not really Christmas yet. And save them for when you go out, for when you go to places. Don't have them in your house, because you'll just be tempted to eat them even more. So those are my kind of top tips for snacking during the holiday season. I hope this was helpful. If you've got any other recommendations or little tips you want to share with us, then pop them in the comments below, and I will see you all soon. Bye bye.